Hey everybody, still here today. Today was as you can tell, a self-care day. um, in my journey with depression, one thing I've found is I have to discipline myself. Um, I try to do at least 2 showers a week. I'd prefer to do three. Hygiene, health, um, things like that. But when you're dealing with somebody who's going through depression, they don't want to take care of themselves. They feel like they're not worth, taken care of. Again, there's that catch 22 of people with depression. We make ourselves hard to love, so we can get that feedback that we are not loved. It's one of the dirty tricks that our mind plays on ourselves. Um, it's a hard thing to get through. Like you literally can't even trust yourself a lot of times, which is ironic with where I was going with this. But yeah, because my next thing was part of self care is I know people get frustrated um, that I don't like to leave my comfort zone, but there's a reason that my comfort zone is my comfort zone. Um, I am one of those people. I just shared a video yesterday, and I even like texted it directly to my mom. There's like a fine line where part of me hopes certain members of my family never see these videos, and another part hopes that they do because then they'll understand certain things better. Um, but I am very honest in the fact that my solitude really is the biggest contributing factor to what helps me get through each day. But I am also aware of the fact that not everybody is built like that. Um, I am one of those people that has the internal monologue. Sometimes you'll see people talking about on social media. Yes, there's a voice in my head. I interpret it as it is me, but it's not me. Um, I like to think of it as like an echo or a bridge to my subconscious. Um, it's how I communicate back and forth. I can kind of, it's one of the tricks that I use to reprogram myself, which I'll get into in a later video. But that is definitely one of my stronger coping mechanisms. Um, where was I going with that? God dang it. I get squirrel brain. Sorry. Um, I haven't medicated yet today, and that's one of my problems. Is I'm trying to lower that too. Um, but yeah, I am sincere. Like I know a lot of people worry and they think it's unhealthy, like how much time I like to spend alone. But that is the time that I do the majority of my healing, and I am aware. FYI, I know some people get this image of me that I'm antisocial. I'm not. I'm very selectively social. I have to be very careful about the people that I have around me. Because again, I'm always looking for that confirmation bias. I'm constantly looking for an excuse that tells me to do the thing that I know I shouldn't do. You know, um, and unfortunately, the trigger of my depression is the reason that I feel this way is because society told me to. They told me that I should. Um, and even though I have awareness um, of it, I still can't get rid of it. It's been a very strange journey. Like that's the one part that I struggle with. I've gone through. I have reprogrammed myself. I've picked apart memory. Like they get a hold of us when we're young and just force feed us and repeat shit that is just not true, but we believe it because it's repeated and it is societal conditioning. and it creates a lot of the problems that we face today. If a lot of people would take the time to sit and reflect, we could get rid of a lot of the issues that we have right now. Another problem is too many people are waiting for somebody to come step in. Well, if they haven't stepped in on it yet, they're not gonna. So if you see a problem, then it's time for you to be a voice to correct it. That's what I'm doing here. I see a problem. There's depression. I understand where it comes from. I understand what it is. I just can't get rid of it. Um, I reprogrammed myself to do a lot of healthy habits. Some things I struggle with more than others. I still can't get rid of smoking. I've been able to cut back. I did get away from it, but I can't stay away. So it doesn't work for like things like addiction. It helps, but it doesn't solve it. But it does work for other things. You know, some things I can do with ease, and some take more time. My process that I used to do this, it took years to develop. The first time I did it, it took months to enact. And I have done it so many times now that I can do it within days now, where I just completely retrain my perception of how I think. And again, I am aware of what depression is, the disease that turns me against myself. I know what it is. I know that it's there. I know how it functions. Um, Most times I can catch it. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes it opens up a trail down some stinking thinking, and then that's a whole hellhole that I have to dig myself out of. But again, that's the solitude. That's what the solitude lets me do. Um, I am aware that I do need to be social. I have some fantastic friends. Uh, Unfortunately, again, that catch 22 of depression is you tend to try to push people away subconsciously. Um, and then you get that stinking thinking, and it is an absolutely vicious cycle that I'm trying very hard to put an end to, but I just can't seem to do it. So here we are. um, One of the things that that I know, it's kind of another paradox is, society tells me, on paper I'm an absolute piece of shit. Like I can't even deny that, and that's not stinking thinking. That's reality. I'm you you can't change something until you understand it, and you can't understand it if you're not willing to face what it really is. You know, Society tells me my health is poor. I'm not working. I'm not contributing to society. Um, I'm not really doing anything, to move society forward. I'm pushing people away. I'm a drain. Like, I know part of that is part of the feed of the depression, but part of that is also based in reality. Um, and my solitude is my chance to combat that. Like, I am constantly like looking like, okay, what part of myself, if I feel so unloved, what part of myself makes me unlovable? And it's like, okay, in that assessment, do I agree with that? And if I do, I'm like, okay, well, I need to be conscious of that and I need to change it. Or do I disagree with that? Is society telling me I should be ashamed of this, but that's bullshit? Like, this is, like, the world needs this that I offer? Then no, I add that as one of my core strengths with moving forward. Again, I think one of the greatest weapons, but also the greatest curses that I have in this battle is my level of self awareness. Um, but again, I'm human, so even though I'm aware that I'm self aware, I also know that I still have blind spots. That's why social interaction is important, because I need people to tell me, is what I'm thinking up here accurate? I can get feedback through my social interactions. So I'm actually very for that. I love going for nature walks. I Winter is horrible for depression. Like it triggers depression naturally in normal people. In people that are already battling, it's horrible. You would think with with the holidays it would help a little, but it's a whole different atmosphere in the world in the winter. And now that it's warmer weather, I can get out on these nature hikes, and that is absolutely great for me. Um, Not only do I commune with myself in my solitude, but I also commune with nature and the world around me. That's very healing, and it's also very beneficial to both my physical and mental health. So discipline's kicking in. I see him at the 11.5 minute mark. Like I said, I'm going to try and keep these closer to 10 rather than 15, but definitely not over that. And it's hard for me to do because I ramble a lot, and I have a lot to share. I want to give a lot of insights, um, but again, I don't want to overload anything too much. And plus, I know society has trained us to not have that kind of attention span, so I got to kind of try and play along. Again, that's the mask. I'm aware of society. I know the role. I know what's expected. I just struggle with fulfilling. But I am trying. So that's kind of the point of all this, too, I think, is that realization. So, but that's today's thoughts. And I'm going to try my damnedest to be here again tomorrow and do it again. And hopefully some of y'all will join me. Oh, one footnote before I let you go again. I'm probably going to hit the 15-minute mark. A friend of mine I saw shared my video, and it's fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate it. And anybody else who does, thank you. I want to spread the awareness. But I do want to make it clear, even though one of my struggles is financial, like that is not the goal. Like I want awareness. I'm not trying to be monetized. I'm not trying to be out there, um, for that. My sole focus is to help. That's what this is about. So I just wanted to put that out there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not opposed. If I get to a level where I get followers, where I can make a few bucks and help pitch in and not be a burden, I'm down for that. I'm not opposed to the idea, although I do have mixed feelings about working within certain systems, but we'll get to that. Um, but just know it's not, again, I am doing this. One thing that I'm learning in my healing journey is I need to, with my own actions, I need to act with intention, not for attention. And that's, again, I reiterate, these videos aren't for attention to me, they are for attention to my issue, so that somehow the world can benefit from it. Somebody can study it, somebody can understand it better, or somebody can see it and hopefully find some kind of inspiration and help them to hold on another day. That's the point. That's will always be the focus. So thanks for letting me get that off my chest, and I see I'm getting close to my, again, discipline. Gotta keep myself in control. Um, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully. Make sure you come back.